Okay, so you ready? Believe it or not, there is a common core. It is GCO, and it is number 10 again. And it is the same thing. We're proving theorems about triangles, right? And so today we found the centroid. And the way you find the centroid is with medians. Okay, all the median is from the angle to the midpoint of each side. From the angle to the midpoint of the opposite side. From the angle to the midpoint of the other side. So then if it is a midpoint, it cuts it in half. So it means this AY has got to be equal to YB because it's a midpoint. And that means that BZ has got to be equal to ZC because it's a midpoint. And it also means that AX has to be equal to XC. It's a midpoint, right? So it has to cut them in half, okay? Now, what amazing is you get this point here. This point P is the centroid. So this point right here is called the centroid, okay? So point P is the centroid, okay? Now, what happens is, first of all, before we go too far, it does not cut the angles in half. It cuts the sides in half, but it does not cut the angles in half. It does not cut the angles in half. It looks like the angles are bisected, but it's not. In fact, this one's a little bit better to see, okay? But what it does is it cuts the segments into thirds, okay? So this is 1/3 of the whole segment, and this is 2/3 of the whole segment, okay? This is 1/3 of the segment, this is 2/3 of the whole segment, this is 1/3 of the segment, this is 2/3 of the segment. So I put down all of the properties, okay? We know the sides are equal because of the midpoint, and we have the 2/3, 1/3 ratio going on. So now let's have some fun with this. Let's put some numbers in. So if I were to say that this side here was 4, just this side here, PZ was 4, okay? Now think about that. This length is 4. That means it's 1/3 of it, okay? So the way I like to do this to make it really easy, this is 1/3 of it, and this is 2/3. I just kind of imaginarily thought, okay, well, I'm going to put a little dash here because that means that this is also going to be a 4, and that's also going to be a 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3 parts of it. See how easy that is? So what's the length of AP? In this case, it's going to be 8. What's the length of PZ? It's going to be 4. And if you need the length of the whole thing, what's the length of the whole thing? 12, right? 12. See how that works? Now, what if I said that this side here was 6? BP is 6. If BP is 6, what's PX?
3.
Good. How'd you get 3 so quick, Claire?
Because you didn't divide it by 2.
Right, because this is 2/3 of it. So if 6 is 2/3 of it, then a third of that would be, or half of 6 is going to be 3. So I'd have my 3, 3, and 3. Totally. That's totally right. So XP, so if I say PB is 6, then I've got PX has to be 3. Okay? Does that make sense? She took half of this, so she put the 3 there. So then if I said this XY, the whole XY, no, I'm sorry. I mean YC. The whole YC happened to be 15. Let's see, the whole YC is 15, okay? Then what's XP? 5, you guys agree? And what's YC? 10. You guys agree with Claire? Does it make any sense? So if I divide this into thirds, right? If I divide this into thirds, then I'd have 5 here. I'd have another 5, which makes that 10, okay? Does that seem pretty easy? Hopefully. Okay, ready to turn the page? All right. Okay, medians and altitudes. Now, altitudes. What the heck on an altitude? Let's check it out. So we've done the medians. Okay, let's draw the medians real quick. So we'll get the medians. We're going to need the midpoints, right? So let's try that again. So I'm going to measure. Oh, I've got about 4.8. So I'm going to take half 4.8. 4.8 divided by 2. I get 2.4, which is about there. So I'm going to draw that in, okay? So I need the median. The median's to the midpoint. Median, midpoint. Okay, there's one median. Okay. I need the median. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, that's about 3.2. If I take 3.2 and divide that by 2, and I get about 1.6. Maybe you're right about there. Draw that line segment in. Draw this median in. It goes to the middle. Okay. Okay, and then the last one, if I need the median, try and draw that in. That's maybe about 4.2. divided by 2. So 2.1. I know that. I didn't need a calculator for that, did I? I'm embarrassed I used a calculator, Katie. Draw that, okay? So, there's my centroid, okay? That's my centroid. Okay, comes from the medians. Now the next one, when you're ready, I'll wait for you, is the altitudes. The altitude is straight up and down from the angle, okay? It's like, kind of like the height of the triangle, okay? So if it's straight up and down, it's going to go and touch it in 90 degrees, right? Okay? So if I were to draw the altitudes, the altitude is from the angle to opposite side at 90 degrees. All right, so let's see if I can draw that in. All right, so I got to go 90, right? And I don't want to use a protractor. I'm just going to try and do my best to eyeball 90. Oh, I might use a protractor. Might make it a little bit more accurate. You never know. Let's see, here's my protractor. It's a big protractor. Maybe I got a smaller one hiding around here somewhere. Maybe. No, I don't have one hiding around here because all I do is lend my stuff out, right? Hold on, I'm on camera still, but I'm live. Wander away. Let's see if I can find a protractor. I want to be nice and accurate, don't I? Okay, I want to go 90 degrees, right? So I'm trying to get this perfectly 90 degrees. Kurt, yours looks actually pretty good. I eyeballed it pretty good, okay? So if I'm thinking 90, exactly 90, looks like 90's right there, right? So maybe it's going to go and touch right about there at 90, okay? So draw that in, straight up and down at 90, okay? Does it bisect? Does it cut this in half? Does it cut it in half? Only if it's an isosceles triangle. So not necessarily, okay? If this were an isosceles triangle, yes, but not necessarily, okay? Now, the easiest way for me to draw the other altitude, really, the easiest way for me to do it is I shift my paper around. So I'm looking at this nice and flat towards me because it's easier to see, right? I want to draw this 90 degrees. I just turn my paper around, made that nice and flat. Okay, then I'm thinking 90 from here, right? 90 is right about there. Okay, draw in my next altitude. This one's great because there's no way that looks equal to that, right? So don't get confused and think it bisects. It doesn't. It's not a perpendicular bisector. It's just an altitude. Okay. It doesn't bisect the angles. It doesn't bisect the sides. All it is the altitude of the triangle. Okay. Then if I want to do the other one, I like to shift my paper. It makes it easier for me. So I get the triangle flat to me, so I can draw it in better. Okay. Because I'm just not very good at seeing it any other way. Get my 90. Right about there. And I know it's got to go through that point, right? And I draw that in, okay? Okay, now that little point, which we're going to study more tomorrow, is the orthocenter. Now, I'm going to put them all up on the board by tomorrow, and they all look a lot alike, don't they? But they're all totally different, okay? So, let's move on. That's the orthocenter. We're going to talk more about the orthocenter tomorrow, okay? So I just did perpendicular lines from the angle called the altitudes. Does not, little note, does not bisect angles or sides. Does not, unless you've got an isosceles triangle or an equilateral triangle. That's the only way we can do it. Okay, example 3. Let's see what we got. Can you guys see this in the back? It's a little small.
Yeah.
I can't zoom it in anymore once I start recording. Sorry, guys. I'll try. Okay, so here we go. AF is 9. So AF all the way across is 9, right? AF is 9. So if AF is 9, let's do this bit by bit. AF is 9. What can you tell me about GF?
It's 6.
AG is 6. Okay, AG is 6. And what's GF? 3. What did Claire do?
She divided it into thirds.
Yeah, she took your 9 and she divided it into thirds. And so we know that this piece has to be 3 and this has to be 2 of the 3s or 2/3, right? Nice job. GE, let's see, GE is 2.4. So it's GC. What's GC?
4.8.
I agree, 4.8. What did Claire do?
Multiplied it by 3.
She just doubled this. So you've got a 2.4, and then you got a 2.4, 2.4. So you got, in a sense, you need 3 of them because you divide in thirds. You got a 2.4, another 2.4, and another 2.4. See how that works? So then it gets pretty easy, okay? So then you got AG. We already know what AG is. AG is 6, right? We know CE is, well, 2.4 and 4.8. What's that make a 7.2? Yep. And then DG. Oh, we never did DG.
That's 3. So this
Oh, yeah.
is 6.
I got more information here. Yeah, if BG is 6, then that's 3. I totally agree. That's 3 also. Okay, there it is. All right. So you think about dividing it into thirds, right? 3 pieces, 3 equal pieces, and you can get, okay? Thumbs up. All right, so we have a little bit of homework assignment. We don't have a lot of time, forgive me, but we got 20 minutes, so we got enough time to get started on this. Page 317, 3 to 7 all, 12 to 15, 29 to 32. Please draw the